Eyewitness Sports right now.
Live in Oneonta, New York, it's the Section 4 high school girls varsity basketball semifinals for Class B. And he says they're ready to play back at home. This is the start of a 4-game homestand and 3 games over the next 4 days. The two teams making it past the higher-ranked seeds in order to make it to this finals game this evening. It's right in this spot where Hall of Fame baseball player Larry Walker signed the location where his plaque will be hung up. And the Warriors get the bye week. They had an undefeated season, 20-0. High school football 2019 is finally here. Good evening, I'm David Edelstein. I was just over at Notre Dame, a little bit small of a crowd. This is pretty big. How does it feel to be leading your team now with everyone behind you?
What's the biggest thing you do from your perspective as head coach to get these guys to gel?
The water making the field unplayable and unsafe conditions for the players tonight.
But that all changes this year on Friday night, September 6th, when the Golden Knights host Skinny Atlas right here on the brand new field. So stay friendly and stay tuned.
Eyewitness Sports right now.
Coming up tonight in sports, a matchup between two of the best boys soccer teams in Section 3. Class D champion Poland played at Class C runner-up Westmoreland Oriskany. A girls soccer game between two teams that were in the state tournament last year. Little Falls played at Central Valley in a non-league matchup. And the NESCAC presidents vote unanimously to alter the winter sports seasons. What are the differences you can expect in the months ahead? A highly anticipated matchup tonight between two of last year's boys varsity soccer sectional finalists. Class D defending champion Poland played at Class C runner-up Westmoreland Oriskany this evening. And early in the game, junior captain Caleb Miller gets the ball in front of the goal, works it to the right side and then back. But there's a lot of traffic around him, but somehow sophomore Jesse Sweet gets a hold of it, puts it in to score. His first goal of the year, it's 1-0 Bulldogs in the 11th minute. Shortly after that, Poland puts the pressure on, a pass up to senior Kate Ozog, who led the Tornadoes with 29 goals last year. Sets up the cross, and sophomore Austin Huckabone puts it away. The game tied up at 1 in the 19th minute. Still the first half, Sweet charging ahead, now up to Miller, offsides not called. So Miller past two defenders, goalie block, but Miller blocks it and watches it roll into the goal. An awkward goal, but the Bulldogs regain the lead 2-1. That was the score at the half. Miller scored another. Sweet scored 2 more for the hat trick. His 3 goals tonight match his total from all of last season. Meanwhile, goalie Andrew Pishnick had 12 saves and recorded an assist on the 5th goal. Westmoreland Oriskany dominates 5-1. The Bulldogs say this might be one of the best soccer games this team has ever played.
We talked to the team, and it's just we want to stay calm. We know we know how to execute our plan. And we weren't panicking. We knew that we can put balls in the back, and then as good as any team in Section 3 can. So we just didn't want to panic and just kept working hard.
We played so well as a team. Like, that was, everyone contributed. Like, it wasn't just like half of the team, quarter of the team, 3/4 of the team. Everyone contributed. Like, it was amazing. It was very good soccer played by us today.
It's one of the best performances I've seen by our team on defense in my 4 years that I've been here. Everyone played their heart out. We knew it was senior night, and we know Poland's always a good team to have to face against, and we really, really wanted to win tonight, and we got it.
The Bulldogs improved to 2-0 to start the year. Meanwhile, the Tornadoes start the season with a loss, but they did that last year and then went on to win 7 games straight, so watch out. Both teams next play tomorrow. In girls varsity soccer, 2 teams that were in states last year. Class C's Little Falls at Class B state runner-up CVA. And Olivia Lindsay forces the turnover, and the long shot is in. The Mounties lead 1-0 midway through the first half. And that was the score at halftime. But then midway through the second half, Lindsay on the move. Down the right side, gets tied up with some defenders. The Thunder's Madison Abreza gets a hold of her, pulls her to the ground. So that sets up a penalty kick right in front of the goal, and she scores. Lindsay knocks that one into the back of the net to make it 2-0, her second goal of the night. Mounties goalie Abby Vadney made 11 saves for the first shutout of the year. Little Falls improves to 2-1 overall. Other scores tonight in the Center State Conference West Division. Clinton tops Sequoia Valley 2-0. Katie Dewhurst and Alexa Bowling scored. And in the East Division, Dolgeville beat West Canada 2-0. Aaliyah Benson and Isabel Nichols each put 1 on the board. And in baseball, the Yankees have forced a Game 5 in the ALDS with the Rays. Gleyber Torres led the Bronx Bombers with 2 hits, 2 RBI, and 2 runs scored in the Yankees' 5-1 win. The teams play in a winner-take-all series finale tomorrow at 7. And in college sports tonight, the NESCAC has canceled its winter sports season. The league says its presidents voted unanimously today out of concern for the students' health safety. The basketball, hockey, indoor track and field, and swimming and diving seasons will not be played this year. But Hamilton College says that students will be able to participate in practices and strength and conditioning workouts throughout this season. So for now, that's all for sports. Be sure to check out cnyhomepage.com for all of your other top sports stories, highlights, and scores. As always, there's more Eyewitness News after the break. So stay friendly and stay tuned.
Regular, take it out. Don't waste time. Don't waste time.
Kelly Shepherdson says she's always liked green.
My room was green when I was little, and it's always been my favorite color.
But little did she know that she'd one day be wearing Herkimer green.
1, 2, 3, hurt.
Shepherdson is in her first year as the Herkimer girls varsity basketball head coach.
You're at baseline.
When Shep came, it kind of, I don't know, she like brought us together, it seemed like. She was a baller, so.
She reminds us of who we are.
And who is Shepherdson as a person? She played women's basketball at Cazenovia College, where she became the 9th player in program history to score 1,000 points. She played high school basketball for her hometown, Little Falls, just up the road.
It was a hard transition at first because I always told myself I would be Little Falls until the end and never really wear any Herkimer gear.
She was a kid full of energy and full of an awful lot of passion for the game.
Pam Munger was Shepherdson's coach at Little Falls. When Shepherdson was a sophomore in high school, she, Munger, and the Mounties won the Section 3 Class C championship. In the finals game, they beat Herkimer.
I don't really remember much from the game, but besides my coach at the end running out on the court, she was screaming, "My kids, my kids."
Thanks to Kelly Shep. She's our goal setter.
Through my senior year, I always asked her, I said, "Can I come back and help you coach? I'll stay around here." That's all I wanted to do.
But Munger's former kid now leads the team she once beat. It all comes together tonight as Shepherdson coaches for the first time against her own high school varsity team. Her former coach, now her opponent.
I'm just excited that she's been able to move up to the varsity level and begin her career.
And a familiar face becomes a rival as well.
It's kind of funny to look over and see her coaching against me. I'm not really used to it, but it's new.
Mary Shepherdson is Kelly's cousin. She plays for Little Falls now and wears number 1 because that was Kelly's number.
I remember when I was younger, she would teach me how to shoot layups, and now I'm playing against her on varsity, so it's kind of weird.
I coached against her on JV last year, and she actually sealed the game both times with free throws.
Yep, she always gets me with that whenever I see her. I mean, my 2 mentors in basketball have been Kelly and Coach Munger, so my goal is to just learn as much from Coach Munger as Kelly did when she played here.
Kelly says Munger was her role model too, an inspiration for her coaching style today.
Both of us coaches are pretty vocal, so it's going to be a pretty loud game. Get there, go, Tay, run with her, run with her.
You gotta want it more than that. I have had the opportunity to listen and watch Kelly coach. I sat there and I was like, wow, that kind of sounds like me.
Tonight, the two will participate in the same game as each other for the first time in 6 years. But this time, they'll be on opposite benches.
I think it's going to be probably 2 very strong female coaches wanting to get the most out of their girls on the floor.
I want to win every game, but with Kelly, it's just that much more.
It's a great feeling to know that the kids that you once had on your team are now carrying it on.
I think this is where I'm supposed to be. I guess I bleed green now.
I need you to come out right now, second quarter, with some fire in your bellies. Get this game back in your hands.
A local athlete turned coach. A bittersweet reunion tonight as Shepherdson and her new team try to defeat her former one. Clinton girls varsity ice hockey watched the movie Miracle on Ice on Saturday during the 3.5-hour bus ride to Lake Placid.
And they were cheering like it was the first time they'd ever seen it.
It was a fitting choice as the Warriors were on their way to play at Herb Brooks Arena, where the miracle happened. It's where the United States men's team featured in the film upset the Soviet Union en route to winning the 1980 Olympic gold medal. The Clinton girls were heading there to play in the New York State tournament for the first time in program history after winning their first ever sectional title the week before.
Before every period started, I just kind of took a minute to look around and really think let it sink in where we were and what was going on.
Emotions like going onto the ice, it was so different.
The energy was so much higher.
I felt every emotion ever.
Clinton played unbeaten Salmon River in the Final Four on Saturday. The teams had tied back in December, but this time the Warriors won 1-0.
I just had a feeling in my gut. The entire time I'm like, we definitely have a chance to win.
And I'm gonna call it right now, right here. We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Clinton played defending state champion Williamsville the next night in the state finals.
I was worried about them being tired, but the amount of energy that they had, it just overflowed, and it showed on the ice that they really wanted to win that game.
The Warriors won again, 1-0. Section 3 Player of the Year Mia Lapata scored with 8.5 minutes left in regulation. Goalie Haley Millington made 24 saves. The Clinton team is made up of players from 7 different schools, but the combined Warriors bonded together to make history.
That was just so surreal, and it was like a picture-perfect moment for it felt like we were on Miracle, the movie.
The movie the Warriors watched on the way back to Clinton as well, this time with their own magical memories of a championship there as well.
We're defending champs, and we're gonna stay that.
Today, the baseball community mourns the loss of yet another Hall of Famer as Joe Morgan passed away yesterday. That makes 4 Hall of Famers who have died over the past 11 days alone. And at a time like this, the Hall of Fame staff say that it's their responsibility to keep the players' legacies alive.
We've lost royalty, Hall of Fame royalty.
Al Kaline, Tom Seaver, Lou Brock, Bob Gibson, Whitey Ford, Joe Morgan. 6 Baseball Hall of Famers who have passed away in 2020. The most ever in a single year.
At some point you go through sadness, then you go through grief, then you even in our own personal lives for those we lose close to us, then you kind of get back to the celebration a little bit of the storied career.
Hall of Fame President Tim Mead says it's the Hall's job to be that place where fans can come together to both mourn and celebrate the lives of the players. Special wreaths placed on their plaques to mark their memory.
When you see it when it happens, you know it's out of the ordinary. You know it's something different, and you know what it means. It's a finality.
We are the heartbeat of baseball. We are the spiritual home of our national pastime, and in that role, we are here to celebrate their legacies.
VP of Education John Shostakofsky says the Hall keeps players' stories alive through artifacts spread throughout the museum. Items that were there with the Hall of Famers, now on display.
That's where we have the great opportunity to expand on the legacies of these individuals and explain where they fit into the history of the game.
Remembering them as great baseball players and great people, legends of the past and inspiration for the future.
Mead and Shostakofsky both added that remembering these players is symbolic of how many people are coming together to remember their loved ones during this pandemic year. And they say that they're glad that baseball and the Hall of Fame can provide a sense of comfort to so many people. David Edelstein, News Nation, Cooperstown, New York.